Talking all these secondary antidotes, how to sustain the mental health. And it's important whenever our minds start to ripple, oscillating, or remember this oscillation, always be thinking that okay, it should be like this. It can be also the minds get cloudy, dirty. It's not oscillating, it's become dull. So I always giving this example, the legs can be rippled or the legs can be dirty. This like a muddy. So then you don't see whatever inside. It's also difficult to see the reflection on the surface. Because of the moment the legs are dirty, let's say the water is not crystal clear, let's say the water is brownish or muddy. So even the green tree reflected on the surface doesn't look like a green. Maybe it's look like a, I don't know, maybe gray. Let's say some other color. So this is happening also in our consciousness. So when the mind also fall into this category, zombie state of the mind, that is the one of the chitta vritti, nidra state. So when it fall into this category, also whatever perception happen, it's not 100% what as it is, because it's a change the perspective in a different way, because it's filtered. So in the first part, in the first chapter, Patanjali talking the antidotes as a abhyasa and vairagya, practice and detachment, practice and let go, practice and non expecting in return out the outcome. Okay, that's the first chunk. And then second phase, he talking about all the secondary antidotes. Secondary antidotes I already talked probably like 3 weeks ago. The first one is the Ishvara Pranidhana. That means you need to see the reality, whatever happening outside or creating ripples to you, it can be also from inside. The true nature, the creating ripples, it's impermanent. The terms of the impermanence is the quality of the Ishvara. Because while we use the terms of Ishvara, sometimes when you see in many books, we translated Ishvara as a God. Or I would say that Ishvara in the form of the divine. Everything's a manifested, what we see. You see me, I'm manifestation of the divine. You manifestation of divine. This fire is the manifestation of the divine. Everything's are manifested in the cosmos are the form of the divine. So even your partner creating problems, that means the divine creating problems for you. So when you see the divinity, automatically you don't get anger. Maybe from 100% anger, probably the 50% will drop. But we are all humans, you know. Sometimes we need to have also this human nature. But by practicing this Ishvara Pranidhana, you see the essence, the opposite person, opposite animals, opposite nature, whatever is there, true divinity also can cause problems. Okay, you will not say, okay, sea is great. Even tsunami comes from the sea or from the earth, whatever you can call it. It's creating problems. So, but this nature, sometimes the nature pleasant, sometimes the nature is unpleasant. We need to accept as thing as it is. So this is we see the true nature. You drop the oscillations. Second one is I was talking about the chanting pranayama, the vibration. Okay, vibration not only chanting ah, the vibration also connected to the instruments. For example, this one or any instrument, guitar, piano, anything like creating some sort of a vibration. Single vibrations are helping you to cooling your mental ripples. The last week I was talking about 4 Chatur Bhavana. Applying any of the one qualities in your life, which is Eka Tattva. Eka means one, Tattva means principle. And these 4 principles, either you applying friendliness in your day-to-day life, compassion in your day-to-day life, or genuinely happy, this is a mudita, or indiscriminative attitudes towards others and you, especially mostly to the others, because we are all living in a society, community. I'm not living alone here. So even I'm teaching now, I need to have a group. So I have experience, sometimes I'm just doing the recording, personally like this, exactly I did that, it look fake, I doesn't like it, because I don't have people there, I don't have audience. So when people have this, like you guys listening, so I have this true nature, I'm being more authentic rather than I just put the camera in my home, in the nice background, nice clothing, and everything is look for me unreal. So I drop these attitudes, want to do that, I just record it now and then upload it. Maybe the quality is not up top, but the important the contents. Okay. That is the indiscriminate we need to apply. These 4 attitudes, choose one, we apply in a day-to-day life. Okay? Friendliness, compassion, being happy genuinely, and indiscriminative. Okay, this is another aspect we can apply. And then later Sutras 34, I think. And that is for this week. I want to talking about 34 pracchardana-vidhārhaṇābhyāṁ va prāṇasya. He said, by maintaining the pensive state felt at the time of the soft and steady exhalation, and during passive retention after exhalation, you find the stability of the mind. So one of the technique we can use this, after the slow exhalation, you always find the pause. Between inhalation and exhalation, always we have this pause. Okay, in Sanskrit we call kumbhaka, antaranga kumbhaka or bahiranga kumbhaka. That means internally pause or externally pause. And especially in this sutra, you're talking about externally pause. That means after you exhale, you're letting go all the troubles, worriness, everything, and you're resting in the state. And this state, it's just a few seconds, maybe few moments before you start inhalation. But if you remember, this is a continuous process. So this pause after exhalation will repeat unlimited time throughout the day. Especially when you have troubles, anxiety, emotional attacks, the pattern of the breathing change automatically very shallow. So we are not really sustaining this pause after exhalation. We immediately want to inhale because we have a weak diaphragm. For today's practice, I want to activate a little bit the diaphragm, and then we are observing more into this pause after the exhalation. Okay? Pause after the exhalation, as natural as possible. Some people maybe 2 seconds, immediately you want to inhale. Some people want to be like a 6 second, for example. You know, this is different from individual to individual. But the moment you're resting your awareness more into this pause after the exhalation, it will reducing enormously your mental ripples, the chitta vritti. This is another 4th methods using that.